to After Dark at the Fixed Ops Roundtable, featuring Cara Delane and Ted Ings. This episode is brought to you by BG Products, partners beyond products. And now for your hosts, Ted Ings and Cara Delane.
Welcome everyone to the Fixed Ops Roundtable After Dark, and what a special guest we have today, Ted.
We have a treasure for a guest tonight, Cara Delane. It is a great honor to welcome Rebecca Chernek, the F&I guru. Becky, welcome to After Dark.
Wow, this is great to be here with you guys, Cara, as well as Ted Ings. It's my pleasure to be here with you on After Dark. Thank you again for inviting me. And yes, I am the F&I guru.
Becky, we go way back, and we go back to the very first Fixed Ops Roundtable. I'm sure we'll talk about that tonight. And Tony Owens, good evening to you as well. Cara, that must mean that we are live tonight.
We are live once again on Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube tonight. So make sure that you're sharing the video and commenting down below if you have any questions for any of us on the screen tonight.
Great. And I want to do a quick shout out to our exclusive sponsor of the After Dark show. It is BG Products, partners beyond products. And we are very grateful to all that they do for the industry. A lot of big things coming early in 2023 from BG. We're looking forward to that. And again, very grateful to them as well. So, Cara, we just finished up that big event, Dare to Dream, a lot going on, and another event in the wings waiting for us.
Yeah, and I'm ready, Ted. I am ready for the Wild West, okay?
Yeah. All right.
I know it's, it's a couple months away, but it's never too early to wear a cowboy hat, right?
I don't think it's that far away at all. I think it's the end of January, and tomorrow is the 1st of December, right? Becky, can you believe it? A new month and then the holidays in just a couple weeks.
I can't believe it. December's already here. I mean, it's here. Let's call it what it is. 2023 is here, and I'm getting myself a cowgirl hat. Come heck or high water, I'm going to figure it out. It's going to look good. It's going to look great. I can't wait. What a fantastic show this is going to be. Good for you guys.
So, Cara, the theme, Wild Wild West. And Cara, what are those dates again, in case someone is not aware?
It'll come up quick, just like the last one did. It's on January 23rd, 24th, 25th, and 26th. So it's our first ever 4-day virtual event, and you can get your complimentary tickets now at fixedopsroundtable.com. And don't forget your cowboy hats leading up to this next show.
Wow. January 23rd for 4 days. Cara, we can have enough for 4 days to fill in a Fixed Ops Roundtable?
At the start of all of this, Ted, I would have questioned it. But the last year, I don't think we've had enough room in the 3 days. I mean, every attendee, every person that was a guest on the show has forced us into having 4 days because we have so much good stuff to talk about that we couldn't cram it into just 3 days. We had to do a 4th day.
Including this fella in the chat right now. Becky, I know you know Steve Apicella from Strategic DX, your dealer experience. Top of the marquee guest tonight. I would agree, Steve. And Becky, Steve Apicella is going to be a keynote speaker in January at the Wild West. How exciting is that?
Well, he certainly is deserving of being the keynote speaker. Stephen Apicella, congratulations. Giddy up.
I think he has said that phrase, giddy up, as well.
That's why we get along so well.
So Steve is pretty amazing, and he's got a lot on the go at Strategic DX. I see him everywhere now, Cara, and it's all on this subject. Becky, if you could imagine going back just a couple months, let alone a couple years, bringing service and F&I together.
Yes, and I really thought I was onto something big and better, and I just knew I was. I 3 years ago, when you invited me, or I don't know how it all went down, but anyway, you were kicking it off, that Fixed Ops Roundtable in New York, and boy, let me tell you, I was all geared up. I had a best practice, and Ted was like, "Bring your best practices in," and I'm like, "Okay, I got this." And I was like, I am talking about how we can bridge the gap between finance and that service department, and how important that is to streamline that whole process, get those products back in front of that customer time and time again, and then also making that claim processing so much better, easier. And then there's Stephen Apicella.
And then it's like he was listening in the whole time, Becky.
He knew I was going to be on your show. In fact, he came over to my show and I said, "Hey, I'm going to be over here with Ted Ings and Kara, and we're going to be doing this live. Come on over." I'm so glad, Stephen Apicella. I'm so glad you decided to be here too.
So, Kara, if you could believe this, at the very first couple Fixed Ops roundtables, we would have everybody who attended, nearly everybody who wanted to, get a marker, right? What kind of marker, Becky? A Mr. Sketch marker, right? And list their best practice. And Kara knows about that. And list their best practice on a white Post-it note, right? And then present it to the group. And everyone, pretty much everyone, Becky, presented their own best practice as well.
Everyone did. Absolutely. Everyone. It was amazing. It was very interactive, and it was, it went all day, and the best practices that everyone came up with, were it was very informative, very creative. But I thought for sure I would win first prize.
I don't even think we had prizes back.
I know, but I'm just saying.
I was going to ask, did you win?
I don't think he had first prize. I'm just kidding. But he should have, because I could have possibly won first prize.
But now you do. Now you do. With the best practice.
Now we can. Now there's Steve Apicella, and he can definitely look at him now. He's a keynote speaker.
Yep. And I see Jerry Davis is here tonight. Jerry, good evening. And excited to have you on the roundtable as well. So I think it was not the first roundtable, Becky, but the second one that we actually went to having awards for the best practices and letting people voting on them. And I remember Tully was the very first winner, Tully Williams.
Of course.
That's right. Yeah. Definitely. I forgot about that. That's right. Tully Williams. Gotta love Tully. I love Tully. He gets it too. He sees the benefit between finance and service working hand by hand. Side by side. He gets it completely. Those two are actually working side by side, him and Dennis Gingrich.
I think they are. Kara, I would put Tully's picture up on Fixed Ops magazine on the cover, but I think David Boyle is going to get upset at me if I put Tully's picture up one more. Can I do it real quick?
Oh, if Dave is watching us right now, sorry, Mr. Boyle. There he is.
So, Becky, you know why I'm saying that about Dave Boyle? Because he's on the cover of the latest edition of Fixed Ops magazine, which, Kara, I know you happened to see that as well recently.
Yes, and I've got to get with Ron Overs because I need a magazine with Mr. Boyle on it so I can pay him back the favor and he doesn't have to Photoshop, himself.
Well, I saw he Photoshopped himself on the cover that you were reading. So
it was so funny. Yes.
It's amazing, Dave, that you had time to do that. But
I laughed so hard when I saw that.
So we'll do it the right way. But
congratulations
to Dave Boyle at Faction on that great honor as well. So a lot of stuff happening in our industry, a lot of technology stuff. And this Wild West event, Kara, 4 days, coming on the heels of the Dare to Dream and then the Roaring 20s. You and I really don't get much of a break, do we?
Not between these events. I feel honestly like, Ted, the last few events have been pretty close together. So we've been just running one into the next. And I told you the other day, it's so funny to me that we plan one. So right now we're working towards the Wild West. And it's so funny because we start planning for the next event as soon as we start the Wild West. We already know what it's going to be. We start talking about it. I was like, man, we're like 6 months ahead always.
So I don't think Becky has been privy to some of that stuff for the very next event. Okay. But I know you've seen some of the costumes already that people have got for that next event.
I accidentally made a joke, Becky, about what we should make the next event. And some of these guys in the fixed ops world just ran with it and are already ordering wigs, and it's going to get crazy.
Wigs. Oh my.
Yep.
Well, the wigs are already out with photos, with pictures, and I mean they've and they were all sharing it. And I mean, I texted Kara. Was it last week, Kara?
I think it was last week. Yeah.
It was at night. I said, "Look what you've got these grown men doing."
He's like, "What have you done, Kara? These are grown men wearing wigs."
I love it. More fun the better. Gotta have fun. Gotta have fun.
Like, you gotta throw a cowboy hat in first, you know?
I think that's, you got the mask, you got the cowboy hat, and then you got the wigs going on. So I gotta tell you, Ted Inks has gotten better with his costumes. Just saying.
True.
Yes, come along.
Did you see the maiden outfit he put me in?
No, she
wasn't the best looking. Well, whatever it was. What was that blue dress thing? What was I?
Okay, the setup.
I mean, I don't know. The maid. I don't know. What was I?
You came out to Los Angeles in March of 2019, right?
That's right.
And I met you at the airport.
That's right.
So we had costumes, Kara, and you were a maiden, right?
A maiden.
And I had the king's. Remember, I was dressed up as the king with the crown, with the robes and the whole thing.
Yes. Oh my goodness!
So she has not seen any of this, right? And that was
these pictures.
I'm hoping it will never be seen again.
That was a tip of the day, Kara. We had the whole thing filmed. Yeah.
Oh,
he was incredible with his costumes. And I'm like, why couldn't I pick something out better than this? Well, Becky, because I've gotten better.
Oh, how funny.
And there was another one. There was another one where you and I represented F&I and service, but we were in a boxing ring. Remember that?
Oh yeah, the boxing ring. I got
we had the boxing robes on. We had the boxing gloves.
Yes, he made me do that too. That was cool.
And we autographed those, and I still have those red boxing gloves. I still have them somewhere here.
You know why?
Because you insisted that I send them back.
That's right. Because he didn't want to do any of that. He's like, I don't need any of this stuff. I'm just going to get rid of it. And I'm like, no, you need, and he autographed it. And I'm like, you need to send this back home. And I think that was the only thing that I managed to save. Everything else, I've got your red phone over here.
Oh
yeah, the red phones. Yeah, we did the phones thing. Yeah.
Remember the red phone?
So Kara, you know, I go back a long ways with props and costumes. You know, even you're hearing about.
I'm not the only one, Becky.
You're making me feel no, don't, because I'm telling you, he's gotten much better.
All right, but I would wear the boxing outfit, Ted. I would do that.
He's like, go get a wizard outfit, Becky. I think they'll like you in a wizard outfit. I'm like, okay.
Well, we didn't do the wizard. We didn't.
No, you didn't. But I bought a wizard outfit just in case. It's still in my closet, Kara.
Okay.
Well, there's still time.
There's still time.
I don't know, but I thought you had a pretty cool wizard hat on. Didn't you wear this wizard hat? Didn't you wear some sort of a...
No, Kara wore a witch's hat for Halloween.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, witch's hat.
Yeah.
It looked more like okay, that's cool. That can be a witch's hat.
Maybe a wizard. Who knows?
I thought it looked kind of like both. I thought it was cool.
Whatever I decide it to be, I guess.
Tully, bring us back on message, Tully. F&I and fixed is a must. Tully's right, Becky. So talk to us about how that all came about, you and Tully. This is going back a couple of years now, and you did that very first panel with Tully on F&I and service. And actually, there were a number of panels, I think, over the years.
Yes, there was several. And after the one that we had in New York, but he was definitely he was there. He understood it, and it was this is the way to create ultimate customer experience in making sure that F&I was aligned with what goes on in service, and so much so that he actually has and sits next, which blew me away. He sits next to retention. It really is. It's all about that ultimate customer experience, from finance to service. And he has his F&I director, Dennis Gingrich, who I absolutely adore too. I mean, I love Tully. Tully is amazing, awesome. He's great people, enthusiastic. But that Dennis Gingrich, he is such a great guy. And the two of them together, what fun, what fun. So yes, I did have the absolute pleasure in actually having panel discussion with Tully and also Dennis Gingrich. And that was terrific. Yeah.
Yep. And we've had a number of them, and Tully's been involved with all that. And he's been telling us, as have you, Rebecca, that F&I and service have to work together. So it's interesting. A lot of things have come up out at, on a lot of panels about that, the sales to service handoff. Earlier, there was a video that I think you caught a part of with Doug Eero and Ed Roberts. Doug Eero at Longo Toyota, how they sold 1,000 prepaid maintenances on the service drive last month. And just a year and a half ago, Becky, we were looking for dealers. We couldn't find too many who even sold any of that stuff on the drive.
Yeah, 15 maybe. 1,000 maintenance plans. So that is all about being purposeful, right? Putting a plan in place and sticking to it, and what consistency means. So when you're consistent with a plan and a process, it's going to come together. It just works. And 1,000 maintenance plans, come on. If that's not telling, I don't know what telling is. Proof's in the pudding.
Yeah.
I always copy the ones that are doing it.
Yeah.
I'm like, let me know the secret sauce, because there's a secret sauce to everything. Let me copy that secret sauce and let me implement it. But it consists, and that's what dealers should be saying. Every dealer should be watching this and saying, what's that secret sauce? How do I implement that maintenance plan and make sure that I have 1,000 maintenance plans a month? Because that in of itself is bringing our customers back into our service department, when in turn we can evolve, or we can turn that around, rotate that around, and selling more cars. It just makes all the sense in the world.
Yep.
Dealers should be lining up and going, I want to watch that. I'm going to watch that.
So Coralie, I see you there. Good evening. I agree that maintenance plan is a great way to make sure that the vehicles and the customers are being taken care of. Becky, here we are. Tomorrow is December 1st. We got about 4 weeks left in the year. And then 2023, a lot of changes happening, a lot of headwinds right now for the car business, interest rates, a lot of uncertainty. There's a need to be flexible, I think, as there has been the last 2-3 years. And if you look into your crystal ball, Becky, what do you see ahead? What advice do you have for our audience, looking into 2023 in terms of what we need to be aware of, and, making sure that we're, ready to respond to?
Wow. Well, I think here we have to have an open mind. We have to be flexible to accept different solutions, alternatives that will drive or make a better or an impact for our customers. Let's call it what it is. There is that affordability crisis that's going on in the USA today, and probably worldwide. So what we want to be able to do is we want to be able to figure out better ways to help customers to afford these different services. And that means also, obviously, in the service department, as well as making sure that customer takes advantage of these value-added products at time of sale, and the importance of driving that home back in service, where that can ultimately cut down on the total expense of owning a vehicle. But being more flexible, adapt to those changes. And as Mr. Stephen Apicella says, I feel like I work with you now, Stephen, before, during, and after, and how important that whole engagement is. So go ahead and we can say you can have repeat referral business if you desire if the desired
customer engagement abruptly ends with the vehicle sale. That's right. And we learned about the micro moment from Steve Apicella, which Tully quotes now frequently, Kara, and F&I and service beyond the one-time transaction. Yeah. And Steve, you are all about that. And Becky, you've been preaching that for a long time as well. A lot of things happening. Okay. A lot of changing continuing to take place and evolve in our industry.
we have to pivot. We have to be more flexible. We have to be ready to adapt. We have to look at other ideas and strategies, whatever that it takes. Like I was talking, and Stephen knows, and as well as you guys know, about refi. You know, why would I offer refi? Dealers typically don't offer refi. But if in the event I have a way of offering refi where I'm not breaking lender agreements, because we're not wanting to break lender agreements, but we are offering a way for the customer to afford either afford a new car payment or to afford servicing their vehicle, why wouldn't we offer that? Why wouldn't we offer the customer the various options to be able to afford these other services or even repairing their vehicle? So those are things, got to think outside the box.
So, Kara, you just recently acquired another car. Okay. You had a vehicle that you had for just a little while, a little over a year, maybe a year and a half, and you just acquired another one, the trade-in. And I imagine now, interest rates are a little bit different than they were, back then. And talk to us about that process. And what is the consumer seeing, now coming in, purchasing a vehicle different than they were maybe a year and a half or so ago?
Yeah. So when I purchased my previous car just a little over a year ago, I planned to have it until 50,000 miles because that was when the manufacturer warranty ran out and I didn't want to buy a warranty. And,
you were going to keep it to 50,000 miles, really?
Yes. And I considered selling it when the market was really high. So I always play the appraisal of my car. So if it's crazy high and I spot another vehicle that I would like to buy, I might sell it on a whim just to keep that equity up because I do put so many miles on them. On average, I average about 36,000 miles in 1 year. So I have to trade them out pretty frequently to not get upside down. But this past one, I had, I think, 5 flat tires, and then I got in a car wreck in it and had it fixed. So it was depreciating pretty quickly. So I was like looking to try to find a vehicle, and I wanted to order one. But the few that I wanted to order, it was going to take a really long time. And I was like, I got to get out of this wrecked car. I know it's going to tank soon enough. So I got a good appraisal on it that still had a little bit of equity. And I was shopping around for about a month of what I wanted to buy. And, I was told by some of our sister stores and some of the people here that it might be better for me to go ahead and buy a new car because I might get a better rate on it. And I have good credit, but I remember getting mad when I bought the previous car at a 2.9 interest rate because that was the best that they had. And I was like, I know I can qualify for better than that, and the car before that, I had less of a rate. And so I end up buying this pre-owned vehicle on a whim that we got in on trade, and we bought it for a good price. So I was getting a good deal. And the one thing that I asked him, I walked right to the desk guy, my GSM at the Dodge store, and I said, okay, I agree on the price, but tell me what the interest rate is going to be. Because I already knew. And I hear it from consumers all day long. And, going through the vehicle buying experience was honestly refreshing for me right now because I am an advocate for the industry and I have to explain that to people all of the time. And I'll tell you guys, I have way too high of an interest rate in my opinion, but I couldn't have got much better. So I'm looking at a 6% interest rate, and that was as good as I could get with a pretty great credit score. And you know what? I needed the car, so I bought it anyways. Am I paying more? Yes, but not really because I won't keep the car very long, as you guys know.
And you're going to avoid those costly, unexpected breakdowns that happen at the worst possible time. So, yeah. Becky, I got the picture texted over to me last week. Okay, she said, I'm buying this car. Here it is. It was on the lot. And I took a look at it. Becky, is Kara going to see that 2.9 rate anytime soon coming back on new vehicles?
On a new vehicle, I don't know. Subvented rates could come out. I don't know. Could happen. on subvented interest rates. I'm
Mm.
seeing some of that happening. It wasn't available for the past couple of years, that's for darn sure.
No.
But maybe trying to move some of the new car inventory, we may be seeing some subvented interest rates coming back to the market. One thing I do want to share, when we're talking about refi, it's not for everyone, right? It wouldn't necessarily be for Kara, but it could be for other customers that might have had a higher interest rate that might benefit from a refi. We just don't know. That's the thing. Those are the conversations that I have. Let's just if we can offer it, great. If not, trade the customer out of that vehicle into a new vehicle, right?
Yeah.
So always have an option. Always, to me, have an option rather than no option. Think outside the box, whatever that may be. That's all I'm saying.
Do you think over time people will come to terms with, okay, the interest rates are just high? Because I feel like right now what I'm getting from a lot of consumers out in the world that I talk to is, I'm just going to wait. I'm going to wait till next year because they might go down, or I'll just wait a little longer. Are they going to go down? You think over time, if they just stay as they are people going to finally cave in? Just like we do with food, gas, everything else, we have to do it.
Well, I think the thing is that those interest rates aren't even high as what they were maybe, I don't know, 10 years ago, right? Or before 2008. How long ago that was, before we had the financial crisis. And then from the financial crisis in 2008 to 10, the rates dropped significantly. What we're seeing though, is that the rates aren't as high, but they're rising faster than they've ever have risen in history. And
they're going to go up again. They're going to go up again this month in December, and maybe again.
I hope not. Are they really? I'm hoping that they're not going to make that decision, because that is that's going to really put the brakes on. And I'm already, and as you say, I mean, we're already feeling that right now, the brakes. And maybe customers are trying to hold on thinking, hey, this rate's going to go down. Even so, here's the benefit of a refi. And I'm not trying to sell anyone on this refi option, but I want to think through that and say, well, how about this? Yeah, maybe you might be signing up at a 6%, but maybe I can bring you back in a year time and we can lower that rate to a better interest rate.
Yeah.
And nobody can see the future, because when rates dropped in 2020, that was on account of something unexpected that happened, and they dropped the rates really quick, to get things moving again. So that was something that could always, different things happen. We don't know what's going to happen out there.
Really
Kara,
don't.
is inventory coming back in terms of new vehicles? What are you saying?
Honestly, at our 3 stores, our Ford store is still hurting. Obviously, I'm hearing that from a lot of Ford dealers, but our GM store and our Chrysler store has pretty decent amount of inventory on both of those lots. And the manufacturers have been giving us 2.9 interest rates, 4.9 for about 72 months. Some of those better interest rates are for a really short term. So a lot of customers are turned away from that. But still, I mean, if you're talking about a 4.9, that's pretty good in today's market. So we have seen some good rebates that are stackable with those interest rates. So it's been a great selling point for us in the last month or so.
And Sean Butler, who's in the chat tonight, Sean, you're right. People are spoiled, but Sean, you and I are older too, right? We will remember those higher interest rates and what they were. So this is nothing, right? Even when we're talking about some of the higher rates today, it's still, child's play. So, and David, who's going to be our guest in a few weeks, Kara. By the way, we're going to have that Vegemite challenge, and I understand another challenge or two coming up from Australia as well.
Are you ready for that, Ted?
I am, yeah.
I've had it a few times. Wasn't the best.
Well, so what's going to happen is you and I are going to do it live here.
Okay.
And we're going to see what the reaction is, right? So our own first, so.
Okay. The other thing, those things are good. The other thing we're going to try.
Yes, I've heard that. So I don't know if we lead off with that or start off with the Vegemite.
We got to start with the Vegemite first and just get it out of the way.
Get it over with. Okay. All right. So that's coming up in December, everybody. David is going to be back with us from Mitsubishi in Australia. And Tony Owens, we might have to have you on that show again. I think you were on there with Ed Roberts as well. By the way, we have a special show coming up next Monday night on After Dark. It's December 5th. It is the 100th, amen, Sean Butler, 100th episode of the podcast, the Fixed Ops Roundtable podcast. So we're going to have Tully is going to be here, and Ed Roberts is going to be here, and I understand another special guest will be here as well. And BG Products will be involved with that as well. 100th episode of the podcast and After Dark, all rolled into one next Monday night. So excited for that, Kara.
Congratulations!
It'll be great.
Yeah,
Yay! Good old Ted. Awesome job.
All right, so we're at
Kara.
about time. Becky, excited to have you back in January on the show. Okay, on the
Okay, I'm going to wear my cowgirl hat.
Got to get the hat though. All right.
I will. Absolutely. I'm talking to Kara. She's going to keep me straight.
Kara, is that a straw hat by chance or no?
Oh, no, Ted. It's the winter time. We got to wear felt hats.
Okay.
I don't know a lot about cowboy hats, but
look at that inside.
Look at that.
That's show that again. That's fancy dancing.
You know what's funny about this cowboy hat?
What?
Is a little embarrassing to me. It was made in Calgary. It's not even. But
no Calgary. No.
Did you say Calgary?
Yes.
That's a cool place
in
Canada.
But
I've been there several times for training.
Kevin our CEO is from Canada originally. So he got all of our head sizes and had them custom made for one of our Christmas parties, but he had them made in Calgary. So
good old Calgary. Ask him if he knows Todd Richardson. Todd Richardson, he owns Charles Glenn Lexus and had the Toyota store, and those guys were terrific. Oh, terrific. They had a beautiful, well, they still do have a beautiful facility. You can actually go up the steps and get your nails done. Nail salon, go figure.
There you go.
Wow.
Top notch. But
is it cold in Calgary this time of year, Becky?
It sure is. I got to show you. One of these days, I'll show you the guys' pictures. I mean, when I got there, they had the biggest blizzard ever. I'm like, are you kidding me?
Did you see the snow in Buffalo last week?
Oh my
gosh,
snow.
Buffalo, New York had like 7 feet of snow.
You have so much snow. I was just like, oh.
No, not here. Buffalo.
Oh, I know Buffalo. Yeah, Buffalo, New York. But you'll get yours. And for when Ted was traveling all over the place, it just seemed.
Remember that?
Yes, it's just like the blizzard would follow you wherever you would go. And I'm like, don't talk to me. You're making me cold. He would go to, I don't know, some airport, and it would be like frozen over. I mean, it's just like, it was awful. Yeah. Hard to forget.
Yeah. All right. Very hard.
No, not hard to forget. That's what I meant to say. Not hard.
All right. So, Carrie, give us again the dates for the next show in case anybody forgot.
Yes, the Wild West is happening virtually on January 23rd, 24th, 25th, and 26th. So grab your complimentary tickets now at fixedopsroundtable.com so you don't miss out on all the Wild West fun.
And that January 23rd, Kara, is a Monday. How am I going to remember that date being the 23rd of January?
Because it's my 25th birthday.
Oh, okay.
Wish it was mine.
Yeah, I won't forget those dates. Not for this one.
Well, that's awesome.
All right.
I have to remind myself to remember. Got to take care
everybody.
of you.
On behalf of Becky and Kara, I want to thank everybody for watching. Kara, this is you do this, not me. I mean,
okay. Thank you, Ted. Thank you, Becky. Thank you, everyone, for watching the show tonight. We had so much fun with you, Becky. And
thank you.
See you again soon. And hopefully everybody's ordering their cowboy hats and getting ready for the Wild West in January. But before then, we'll see you guys next Monday for a big After Dark show at 8 p.m.
Thank you.